Let us now welcome contestant number 8.
Good morning. I'm happy to be here today to discuss with you one of the most important issues facing China in the 21st century, the relationship between ecology, tourism, and learning. But that relationship has to be seen in a larger context. China has a vision of achieving a well-off society in an all-around way. We know that we can't follow the strategy used by other countries in the past. At the United Nations World Summit on the World Economy, ex-Premier Zhu Rongji said, economic development and environmental protection are interlinked and cannot be separated from each other. He also said that a new pattern that conserves resources and guarantees a clean environment must replace the traditional pattern. That new pattern is called sustainable development. It also implies a new lifestyle, which is ecotourism. To me, it means eco-minded people engaging in outdoor activities. It is nothing less than the harmony between people and nature. Therefore, we have to make wise decisions as we develop tourist sites. Skiing on white powdery snow makes people feel great, but if building a ski lift destroys the habitat, then we should not do it. Lying on the warm sand of the beach with the blazing sun above is relaxing, but if it is a nesting beach for sea turtles, then we should not do it. Analyzing our behaviors in nature, we see the problems. Poor sanitation, poor transportation, poor accommodation, and poor translation of useful information, and the clutter and chaos of vendors. That is why ecotourism is critical, and that is why we must learn through ecotourism about how to keep the balance of nature. In my vision of the future, people will feel happy to be responsible for the environment. Tourist sites will be clean, traffic will be orderly, tour guides will be well informed, signs will be accurate, vendors will be respectful. Then the millions of tourists who visit China each year will return to their homes not only with a deep appreciation of China, but also with new respect for the environment as well. Let me tell you my personal experience. On the 3rd of October 2000, I was traveling with a large group of people in Inner Mongolia. Many people got frustrated. Some of them were even quarreling. The atmosphere was becoming tense. At our destination, we got out of the cars, went to the edge of the lake, and then there was a transformation. The color of the lake was that kind of blue that gently touched your heart. Mountains stood silently at the horizon. Suddenly, it seemed like the sun blinked. Several rays of light came out of the clouds, and then the sun sank into the lake. I looked around and saw several guys had tears in their eyes because of that beautiful moment. Others gave each other hugs, forgetting the quarrels they had just had. I stared at the lake. For the first time in my life, I found a great peace in nature. The peace that can erase anger and misunderstanding. This experience taught me how the peace in nature has an influence over people. And if people could bring all these wonderful feelings back home, then it could contribute to the harmony in society. I believe it is time now to make a fundamental change in our economic development strategy, which will be the hallmark of human civilization at this new historical stage. And ecotourism is the way to keep the delicate balance between what we have and who we are. Thus, ecology improves tourism, and tourism improves learning, and what we learn is how to achieve the vision of harmony and peace between humanity and nature. Thank you.
Contestant number 8. If we don't want to give to individual beggars, what charities would you recommend that we support in China?
I think a lot of ways, like what I said. I don't like to give money directly to the beggars. But I think there are a lot of ways, like if it was snowing, heavily snowing outside, and the beggar is going to be freezing deadly or something like. Of course, I would like to give him or her a jacket and stuff like that. And also, like food and some other necessary medicines and stuff are very necessary to give the beggars. Also, I think it is our mind that we sometimes we say something from one extreme to the other extreme. I'm not saying don't give the beggars anything. We still have to give them our sympathy and show us what we can do for them. Like for the National Welfare Department, we can find more opportunities of jobs or even volunteers for them to let them feel like they're still a formal member of our society. So they won't go do the crimes, they won't do the negative and destructive things, they will just go for jobs. And if there's a job opportunity right there waiting for him or her, she will get it and do it. And the more jobs and more chances there are, the healthier the welfare project will be. Thank you.
Contestant number 8, I'd like to ask you a question about your impromptu speech. If you were taking a tour in a foreign country and you ran into a beggar, would your attitude be any different than towards a beggar in China?
Of course, there will be a lot of differences. See, first, communication is the first part. If, he or she speaks Spanish, obviously, I don't speak Spanish, so maybe there's no way, but maybe the beggar will still come to me and ask for something, that's obvious. But I think the interesting thing is, sometimes even without, language communication, even with the gestures and, stuff like that, you can understand what his or her need is. I think there won't be any differences because, I won't change my theory or my stand on this issue only because, traveling to another country. Because I think, as what I said, they're all human beings and no one's has a higher rank than anyone other. If the guy speaks English, I will try my best to explain, what I told you now. Or maybe they'll be like 3 minutes long. I will keep it short to explain my ideas and say, go find a good job. And if I have a boss of a company, I would like to offer him or her job if, she or he is available appropriate. Thank you.